This is a story of one evening in a village of early 20th century. It is close to sunset and a muscular man named Dinkar Rao is standing outside his house. He is staring at the large orange sun setting behind a distant mountain range. Dinkar is a light brown skinned muscular man with visible six pack abs. He has built a magnificent hulking body unlike anybody in the village. He takes great pride in it as he sees passing women blush, taking quick glimpse at his muscles. In response, he simply smiles, twirling his thick black mustache and running his hand down his long wavy hair. This isn't without any effort though. Dinkar puts a lot of work in maintaining himself. He has been since he was very young. That's why, even at 47, he has the stamina of guys half his age. Right now, he's warming up, preparing for the final part of his daily routine. He continues to stretch his body and do push ups while watching the sun set. The moment he sees the last tip of the sun disappear behind the mountains, he starts running. Like a bullet shot from a gun, he sprints barefoot towards the finish line. That is, to the top of the Bigul hill. He runs very fast and swiftly past some villagers. The gust of wind he generates makes them lose balance and fall. He smiles in response and continues to run. His eyes are set on the prize, that is, a view from the top of the hill. There's a temple there, perhaps that's where he is heading. After navigating through the mud road, he leaps to start climbing a long, steep staircase. He keeps on looking at the distant mountains, the point where the sun just set. As he climbs to a higher point, he sees the sky getting brighter. At first, for him, it feels like a normal routine, but soon he gets very scared. In the beginning, he was skipping 2 to 3 steps with every jump, but then he shortens the jump to skip just one. He touches his chest as he realizes that his perfect looking body isn't functioning at optimum level today. Still, he desperately wants to reach the top on time, and so he keeps on running. After a lot of running, Dinkar finally reaches the top of the hill. Quickly, he runs around the temple to the backyard. When he was nearing the top, there was a wide smile on his face, but his smile fades when he reaches the backyard. The sun is still out of view, hidden behind the mountains, and the place is getting darker with every passing second. As a final attempt, he runs to the edge and climbing over the boundary wall, he makes a jump to at least catch a quick glimpse of the setting sun. Sadly, he sees nothing and he lands hard on the slope of the hill. It's a slippery landing as he rolls down the barren terrain. Fortunately, he slows down and comes to a halt by grabbing a large rock in his path. He takes a few breaths and waits for his heartbeat to return to normal. Meanwhile, he simply sits there looking at the village below. This ending was not a part of Dinkar's routine. A long, hard run up the hill every day to witness sunset twice, first from his house and then from the backyard of the temple. That was the routine he had set to test his muscular strength and endurance. For that, he used to literally race with the sun and win every time. Sadly, today, Dinkar lost. This should not be an issue. His performance was still vastly superior to that of any man of his village, irrespective of their age. Also, he lost for the first time. There's always the next day. But Dinkar doesn't take this failure optimistically. For him, once a loser is always a loser. He punches the ground under aggressively until his knuckles start to bleed. Why? 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 He keeps on shouting while digging in. Looking at his muddy, bloody hands, he says, After all the things I do to keep you perfect, why are you betraying me now? Dinkar is not just talking about his hands. His entire body is failing him. His age is finally catching up on him, and there is nothing he can do to reverse it. He always knew that this day would come, but didn't think it would come before he turns 60. So, heartbroken, he simply lays there until the place gets completely dark. These are the times when the Bigulvihi village is lit only by kerosene lamps. That too only inside some houses. Most of the people by this time are usually already asleep, as they are today. The sun is gone and the stars are out. It's a beautiful sight to see 1,000 twinkling stars in the sky, if that is something Dinkar likes to do. He is looking at the sky, but he seems worried. Laying on his back, his gaze is set on one random star. There's a deep thought bothering him, but he utters not even a single word. There are times when he reacts to what he's thinking at that moment by kicking a rock, punching the mud, or shaking his head. Sometimes he even sheds a tear. It would be quite an embarrassment if a grown-up handsome man like him is caught crying. Fortunately, there is no one around. Laying there flat, letting out all his tears, Dinkar falls asleep, repeating just one line. I don't want to get old. Thank you.